And we're back. This is the fifth video in Watercolor Tell-All. And so this time we're now going into a different sort of session. We're going to start working with tips and with brushes. We've done what we wanted to do with selections. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up the selection that I'd created. So we're going to go to selections, load selections. Sorry, I was not on the brush. I mean on the, never mind. All right, so I go up here and I select flower and say, okay. Now, when I did this selection, I wasn't really careful about following the lines, and so that could get us confused. So I'm going to turn off the drawing because it's not really that important right now. And we're going to start with this Grainy Bristle water brush, the first one up at the top. Now I have, I think, 4 of them in the group. There's Grainy Bristle Water, Grainy Bristle Water 3, Grainy Bristle Water 4, and Grainy Bristle Water 6. I should probably try and make a different name for them, but they're all similar in the way they work. And if you remember the Skip's Grainy Bristle, you'll find them and find that it is, it's a good brush. It's a brush that I go to frequently. Now, for paper, remember last time we talked about paper, I went to the fluid papers and I went to cold pressed watercolor. And I changed the contrast to 160, the scale to 25, and the brightness to 30, okay? Now, I'm going to paint with this brush, and remember, it will stay inside the line, inside the selection as I paint, but it can go outside as I, if the paper is not holding it and the selection is not holding it, it'll bleed outside. But we're hoping that isn't going to do that so much now. Now, the nice thing about this brush is it has a nice feel as far as shading. So I've just put down kind of a middle tone. And now I can come back here and adding more pressure, I can get a darker tone. And I'm going to go pretty dark down here. And then I just lighten up that amount of pressure so that I'm getting a little lighter as we go without doing too many lines. I don't want these heavy lines to show down here. So I'll come back and do a little darker, but it just tends to make more lines if you're not careful. When you let it go though, voila, the brush blends beautifully and gives you a very nice kind of look here. Now, this is showing some texture. I don't mind grainy texture like this. I actually sort of like the way this paper is working. Now, the nice thing about this paint is that you can take another color and just blend it over the top. You see, I'm not getting a blue down here. I'm getting more of a green. But as I go up where there's less orange, then I get more of the blue color. So we're going to let it be kind of blue at the top and greener at the bottom. Now I'm going to come back down here and darken it a little bit. And we'll let that go. And it did change the color. Now, I know you don't believe me, but look at this. We're going to take a piece of it, and I'm going to come over here and just paint a little bit of that in there. It's making a liar out of me. Let's try some right there. There we go. We're beginning to get a different color now. And that's what does happen. Let's just put more of that blue in, and we'll see if we can get a little more green. Well, of course, it's going to go green that much, but we'll do less and less and less. Okay, now you can see that it's beginning to blend. It's like you've done a wash over a wash, and how even you are will make a big difference. Now we can, if we grab down here, we're going to see that it is a green color. If we sample right here, it's going to be a oranger color, but still green. Let's go back to here. Let's try right there. You see, those look gold, but they're going to be, well, that one's a little golder. But you see the variation in color that happens, and that's one of the things about watercolor brushes, is you want to get this kind of variation of color. Now let's close that, and we'll go to the second one, which is Grainy Bristle 3. And I'm going to take this back to a kind of a gold color. And then I'm going to paint. And I'm going to start lightening the amount. Now this one is more of a smooth brush. It doesn't have bristles to it like the first brush did. So in some ways, I like the way that you can paint with this brush because it seems to paint smoother. Now I'm going to come down here and really begin to darken. And you don't have to spend this much time on it. I would probably, if I wasn't demonstrating, I'd probably just jump in there and I would have it done in a second. But there you go. All right, so you still see this variation. Now notice that the paint goes lighter. That's normal for watercolor. When it dries, it goes lighter. So I've sort of made them where most of them will lighten up so that you still get the same feel with watercolor. You can come over it and do another line, and if you leave a straight dark line, it's going to show. And it'll give you that little edge that looks so nice. Now, the Grainy Bristle, does that do it? I forgot to say that. I don't remember. See, I'm so used to just grabbing a brush and playing with it. If it didn't do what I wanted, I'd grab another one. Okay, so this is going to still, blend out. And then if we come back in, put another one in, it's not going to give you the same kind of look. This one is going to blend more, where the second one gives you a tendency to give you more of a line. And it gives you kind of a hard edge on that line where it's dark. Anytime you have a dark area against a light area, you're going to get a little bit of a line like that. See? So that's going to give you more of a watercolor kind of look. God, if it takes me this long to go through all these brushes, we're going to be here forever. I think it'll go faster as we go. There are things that I have to kind of think about when we're doing this. And again, let's just do one more thing. If we take this one and make it dark down here, and then go light, let it go, and then switch to that green. See how this applies in a much, it applies in a smoother manner. This particular brush number 3. Okay, and we let it go. And again, the green, because it was so light, it didn't do much. But again, we'll go back and we'll put a heavy load in. and let her go. Now, see, you're getting some of the green and the orange. Now, you're probably saying to me, well, you know, that's really not a different color, but look, that's the color we're working with. And putting it over that gold, even lightly or heavy, will affect the way it looks. Okay? Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to say? There's one other thing I want to say in this video, and then I'm really going too long. You know what? I'm not going to, because we're at 10 minutes, and I don't want these videos to be that long. All right, so come back, and we'll be in video 6. All righty. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.